And we are live, right?
Fingers crossed.
Should be live. Ready to go. Ready to talk to some people. There you are.
You get a notification?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are live. Yay. All
All
right,
right.
guys. Welcome back to Nothing Nerdy. I am here today with the inspector who reacts.
Hey.
How are you, Inspector?
Same old, but pretty good. Excited to talk about this episode.
Awesome. Yeah, so we are here for our fifth week in a row talking about now the chapter 5 of The Mandalorian. And so far we have Elser with us. Hey, Elser. We are doing good. How are you? And
Real quick.
DC, what's up? How are you?
Real quick. You want to ask Elsa about earlier, like what we didn't in our private
Oh yeah, if you're still here, Elser, we noticed that you got into. We were wondering how the chat came up because I thought we did it. It was funny. We did a test stream before, but I did it privately. So I was wondering how you got into the. I wonder if like I accidentally did the wrong settings. I was just curious how you got into the chat. I thought maybe I messed something up. I'm not sure.
I think it was a private chat, and
Yeah,
um, somehow someone I think we got a comment in there.
it was weird. I don't know what I did, but DC, I'm great. How are you all? Doing good, doing good. Excited to talk about chapter 5. All right, so I guess we'll jump right into it. So overall, what was your impression of chapter 5?
I really like this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's definitely like I think I like this one over the last week's episode.
Yeah.
And I will say the nostalgia of this episode got me a lot. Like the
Yeah.
little nods and everything just it made me so happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have to say, I felt like this. Hello, Elsa. Doing good. How are you? Um, so I was trying. I don't know. I don't typically like think about this, but I guess I was trying to figure out like what the purpose of the episode was, like in terms of the story as a whole. And the only thing
Yeah.
that I could take away from it was like what you had just said, that like the purpose of it was like for the nostalgia, like maybe for the fans, because I didn't feel like it pushed the plot forward. Like I know some people were saying that about the episode last week, but I felt like the episode last week, um, we got to learn a little bit more about the Mandalorian, his
Yeah.
history, and who he is. This episode, I felt like it didn't serve a purpose. I hate to say that, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, I definitely see where people are coming from, but I really enjoyed kind of just like I said, we're in the middle of the
Mm-hmm.
season right now. So we're kind of like getting our characters to a place
Yeah.
because the I think the real meat and potatoes of the plot is going to come back at the finale
Yeah.
when probably when the Mandalorian gets when the people catch up with him, when the Empire or whoever they sent after him
Yeah.
catches up. And yeah, like right now it's just him dealing with other bounty hunters and just trying to find a nice place to settle down and such. So I'm totally fine with the filler episodes
I mean,
ish.
I liked it. It's not that I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. I thought it was really well done. It was a great story. But I guess
yeah,
I was trying to think, well, okay, well, how does this like what did we gain from this? Like what would this episode have made any difference if it never happened? And I felt like it just didn't push the plot forward. It didn't I felt like we didn't learn anything. I mean, we got, there was a thing at the end that we'll get to.
yeah.
Maybe that
The
was the most significant thing though that happened. Like I didn't feel like it added anything to the story other than
yeah,
like it was awesome for us fans to see him go back to Tatooine and Mos Eisley and like that. Like I felt like maybe the episode was just for us. I don't know.
yeah. I think this episode, well, not just again, not just for us, but it's also like it kind of establishes what happened to Tatooine in the last 5 years. Like it's clearly very different than it
Hmm.
used to be. Like
Yeah.
it's much more, I don't want to say barren, but docile,
Hmm.
not as bustling as it used to be back during the Hut era.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It
yeah,
seems
that
a little bit more
was
low key in a way.
yeah, which uh, I guess we can start at the very beginning with that kind of surprise, like that little space battle, that little dogfight that Mando was having to deal with.
Yeah, that was fun. I was trying to figure out in the beginning, like, all right, what's going on here? But yeah, so I guess he was like after, um, I wasn't sure if the
Baby
guy
Yoda.
was after him or if he was after the guy because, um, and I'm gonna guess maybe it was a bounty hunter after him.
Yeah, maybe either or. I was gonna say that it's like if he's after Baby Yoda, he's killing Baby Yoda. He's gonna blow up the ship.
Yeah, that's what was weird about. Like, I mean, the guy says to him, which I thought was funny. The guy uses the Mandalorian's line, "I can bring you in
Yeah, he
warm
uses
or I can bring you in cold." And he's like, "That's my line."
that.
Um,
Yeah, I love that.
but like, yeah. So if he like the, he'd be killing both him and Baby Yoda. So I don't know. I guess maybe one bounty is bigger than the other. Um, but anyway, the Mando takes him down.
Yeah, takes him down. It disintegrates the ship like
Yep.
old classic Star Wars.
Mhm.
Just completely obliterated.
Mhm.
And uh, like little Baby Yoda, he's just like freaking out. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
He's like, hold on, and he's like, where's
to
he gonna go?
what?
Yeah. Poor Baby
Yeah,
Yoda.
he doesn't have the little car seat or the little baby stroller or whatever it is. What do you call that thing? Cradle? What is that thing?
A car seat?
This old floating
Oh,
thing that he used
it
to
looked like
have.
a floating cradle.
Yeah, he doesn't he doesn't have that
Yeah, he should have kept that.
anymore. So it's like what man to like build to set him in? Like what's he sitting in? The little seat?
Something not very safe. Just want to
Yeah,
quickly look at the chat. We have a couple
yeah.
people who popped in. MXC, what's that?
MC.
It has space battle, plot move forward. There you go. That's all that matters, right? Also a lot of references to A New Hope in this, definitely. Daniel, hello. My friend at work said this was a filler episode 2 from DC. Yeah. Yeah, kind of felt like this was more so than the last one for me personally.
Yeah.
MXC says they're setting up to find out that Baby Yoda is the child of the Mandalorian that he gave up years ago for adoption.
Yeah.
They have a battle
So
throughout later where
Mandalorian
they
gave
kill a
up.
lot of enemies. So MXC is referring to a Hallmark movie that we all watched on Discord last night. That's what
Uh,
that is referencing.
I was gonna say, wait a second. So that would mean the Mandalorian, who's 40 years old, gave up Baby Yoda before he was born. Who's 50. Well,
I
Baby
don't.
Yoda
I
is older
can't
than the
even.
Mandalorian. This child is older than our main character.
And baby, I can't. Baby Yoda's not even half human. And how? I never mind. Okay. Okay. You guys keep making saying awkward things every week, and I can't recover. Um. Oh, DC says he has a theory on the final scene. We will. I have. Well, I read some stuff about that, so I guess we'll get to that towards the end.
Oh yeah. Okay, that
That final
last
scene.
moment.
I was like,
Yeah,
what?
I can't. I want to talk about that,
Yeah.
but we'll get to that later. We'll get to that. But I'm excited.
All right. All right. So the next scene. Well, okay. So still on the ship. Ship starts to lose fuel.
He yeah. I thought this was actually thought this episode was going to be like that Firefly episode Out of Gas, where the ship is completely stuck in space
Mm-hmm. I
and
remember
everybody
that.
like the power is going out, the heat's going out, everything like just going dark.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very depressing episode with
Well, thankfully they didn't do that because poor Baby Yoda.
yeah, I know. It was just, but I thought it was gonna be maybe at least half of the episode was gonna be him stuck in his ship and then him just either talking or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen. But he's like, okay, so he gets the ship running on backup power or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like I thought he was just getting the heating up and gets the lights on, gets the ship, and then he starts running. And okay, so I had me and my brother were watching this for the first time together.
Uh-huh.
I saw the planet and I was like, that looks familiar. And Kaya, my brother said, he said, it's Tatooine. And then the guy said Moss Eisley. We both our jaws just dropped. It was like,
Yeah, that was
we
pretty cool.
didn't.
I didn't recognize it at first, but when you hear the I don't know what you call him,
Yeah,
I want to say the traffic controller, but I don't know what the word is. He's like, yeah, Mos Eisley.
planetary guy,
Yeah. Um,
planet tower, the
yeah.
planet tower, planetary port.
I was like, oh my god, we're going back to Tatooine, and so like suddenly I'm like, oh my god, okay, I wonder if we're gonna see Obi-Wan Kenobi. I wonder if we're gonna see like, you know, I know a number of things started running through my
Yeah.
head about who we might see. So
I do like. I just like. I mean, I was just as soon as I figured out we were going back to Tatooine. It's like I kind of gotta say this, but I think Tatooine's like home. It's
mhm.
like our first home, so it's
Yeah,
kind of that small little like. It's just returning to a familiar place that we haven't seen in forever,
yeah,
and I especially love that shot. Like the shot where he flies down onto the planet. It's almost the exact same shot as the very first shot we see when we pan down, and it's the Rebel cruiser and the Star Destroyer.
oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it almost like the moons and everything almost looked like it was the exact same positions
Mhm.
that pan down. And we landed Mos Eisley. We go right back to that exact the city. We see the same shots, like the same canyon where Obi-Wan and Luke were sitting
Yeah,
on the end, and we see the shot where they were looking at the spaceport.
yeah,
It was just so it made me so happy.
yeah. Like the visuals and even just like a lot of references that they made, like Beggar's Canyon. Um, oh, I can't think of everything, but like yeah, like a lot of terms like that we heard like from about like Tatooine, like back in like episode 4 or whatever, and um, yeah, I was really hoping there was gonna be some kind of reference to like Obi-Wan or even Luke. That would have been cool, but I guess
Oh,
it would have been too much. I don't know, some kind of
yeah,
reference to the
this
characters, but
they had a perfect opportunity, and I just realized they could have done this. We could have gone to Tossie Station to get some power
oh
converters.
my god, that would have been so cool.
We finally get to see what those power converters that Luke wanted, like I guess at this time 10 years ago. Um,
Oh man, can you imagine the Mandalorian going to the Tashi station?
I guess season 2 we're gonna go see Hoth.
Yeah.
Season 3 we'll go back to Endor.
Oh man,
Just make one planetary trip at a time.
that would be very cool. um, so yeah, so it was really cool, yeah, to see just like even though just those first few scenes were cool to see. Um, so he lands on Docking Bay 35, um, and let's see.
Is it okay? No, the doggy bay that Falcon was almost 94, so
Yeah.
that wasn't the same exact
No,
time.
I know. I was listening very carefully to the number. I was like, yeah, no, not even close. So anyway, when he lands, there's like a mechanic, I guess, who I really liked her character.
Yeah, like she was really funny. She kind of reminded me of like I think some people said this. Like, she's an actress that they've seen in like I don't know if it was a comedy or a series, but it was like something from like 10, 20 years ago.
She looked familiar, but I couldn't place her. And you know what?
Yeah,
I didn't look her up either.
yeah. But yeah, some people like you watch Hello Greedo, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he mentioned something about like she was from an old show he used to watch, and he was like, I couldn't get her out of my head. I kept seeing that character, not the mechanic lady. But yeah,
Yeah, we'll have to look that up unless somebody wants to look that up for us. What is she from, guys? What is she from? Go look it up. We knows everything. Daniel, you know everything. Go look it up. He probably
um,
knows. Um,
another. Oh yeah, sorry. It was just another cool reference. Is we get pit droids. We get the little droids from episode 1, and like the
yes,
little.
I thought it was cool to see them again.
Yeah.
Um,
And they were acting like the ones that were actually working on that pod racer in episode 1 too, which I
mhm.
always call the Three Stooges. They're literally the ones that are like just throwing stuff at each other and making jokes.
Yeah, they were really funny. And yeah, and it was cool to see. It's always cool when they like bring in stuff from like the other movies, especially the prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool to see. But of course, he was like, no
No.
droids.
He shot at him too.
Yeah,
He's like,
he scared them.
it's like
Um,
Jawas, no. Droids, no. Just no. Nobody else touch my shit.
yeah, he
And then
doesn't
he's
like
like, looks at
anybody.
Baby Yoda. He looks. looks back at Baby Yoda. It's like, not you. You're fine. You're good. My son.
Oh, DC's like, she reminded me of Carla from Cheers. Definitely. I totally see that. Same type.
I almost wonder if they're the same ones. Like they're this like that pod racer just sold them and like they've been passed down
You
from
never know.
mechanic or
That's
it's like they'd
that's information that might come out eventually.
yeah.
Um, all right, so he's greeted by the mechanic. Mechanic looks over his ship. He's like, "Yeah, you look like you've been in like a gunfight." And he's like, "Can you fix it?"
She's
And
like looking over the whole ship, scanning it,
yeah,
t- poking it. Yeah.
yeah, it looks like it needs a lot of work done. And anyway, he gives her 500 Imperial credits. So, um,
And Tatooine takes Imperial credits.
apparently so. Yeah, wouldn't get not necessarily get that anywhere else, or accept that anywhere else. All right, so then we get like a little view of the Mandalorian like walking through Mos Eisley, and we kind of see like the state of it, like how it's changed, since we saw it in
Yes.
the originals, and we see like the stormtrooper helmets on these like
Yeah.
stakes. We saw that in
Yeah.
the trailer.
Yeah. Because if I remember, like the Imperials had an academy on Tatooine. Like that was what Luke was trying to join when because he like begs Biggs, Wedge,
Hmm.
or other Tatooine people had gone to the academy and joined the Empire before they defected to the rebellion.
Right.
But yeah, the academy was basically a place to recruit anybody who wanted to for the Empire at the time.
Hmm.
So yeah, the Empire was on Tatooine. So I'm assuming when the Empire fell, everybody just rioted against them and took them out. So those are remnants of the retaliation.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. Oh wait, we've got the list of movies she was in. The Lion King. This is referring to Pelly, the mechanic.
Yeah,
The Lion King, Ghost Team, Elf. Who was she in Elf? Shrek the Third, My Name is Earl, American Dad. I would only know her from Elf. I can't remember though.
I didn't see Shrek. Uh, yeah, I'm just looking over at the chat right here. I don't have it on note.
Um,
Okay.
all right. Anyway,
Sorry, real quick, going back. So Mando leaves Baby Yoda in his ship. Like he just puts him to sleep and like lets him
leaves him behind like a good
and
dad.
kind of like puts a like closes the door, like leaves him in a locker room or something.
Yeah, I felt like it's I don't want to say a typical dad thing, but like the stereotypical dad who doesn't know what he's doing, like he's learning and he doesn't know these things. So he leaves the baby behind, and then yeah, we see the mechanic is, I don't know, like if they're playing, like they're like she's like gambling with the droids or something. They look like they're playing or something. I don't know. And then all of a sudden they hear like a noise, and they see Baby Yoda standing there. And it was so cute. Baby Yoda like puts his hands up like to
It's
get
just
picked
like
up.
she's got this big giant blunderbuss cannon blaster, and then Baby Yoda just walks out of the smoke.
This little tiny peanut, and he just
Yeah,
wants to be picked up.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
Oh,
like
they were playing. Yeah, keep going.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, he was so cute. He just puts his hands up like he wanted to be picked up like a baby.
Yeah.
Um, and that's when we
So,
suddenly see like this other side of her. She's like much
yeah,
softer and
motherly. But
motherly.
also,
Yeah,
she's like, I'm going to charge the
yeah,
Mandalorian.
yep.
Oh, they were also playing Sabak, that card game,
Oh, okay.
which is cool. Another cool reference. I thought, like, I don't know. This episode was full of so many references.
Hmm.
I don't know. I just really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, it's a cliche. Stupid behavior to cause trouble for later in the episode. um,
so
okay.
we go to the cantina again. We
Yep.
return, and I gotta say this. As soon as Soul Cantina was like, wow, this place is boring. It just,
Yeah. I don't
like, I
think
was
there was like
expecting.
I don't think there was any music. and there was a droid
Yeah,
behind the bar, and they used to not
yeah,
serve their kind.
yeah. It's like I guess the guy like either retired or died or something, but he's just like droids took over his bar. And now it's a little cleaner.
Hmm.
There's not no music. Everybody's just all there, and just like I was like, oh man, this is a little disappointing. Like I wanted to see like I wanted like the cantina scene
Yeah,
like number two.
yeah. I didn't have
Where's
the same. Um, they didn't. It didn't have the same vibe as the yeah, the original one.
yeah,
Um, and it's funny. MXC says, "Did she race a motivator?" That reminds me. There was a droid in the cantina scene. I don't know if it's the same droid or a similar type, but there was a droid that you see like an R2 unit that at least looked like the original unit that Uncle Owen was gonna take, the one that had a bad motivator.
you mean red like that R4 the red one that
Yeah,
yeah
I
the
don't know
one that
remember if it was
blew
Red
up.
5, Red 4, R4, R4. I don't remember what the number was,
Yeah,
but
red something.
yeah. Anyway, at
It's
least
calling it red.
yeah, it looked like that droid. I don't know if it was the same one, but it at least looked like it. Um, hanging out by the bar. So
Yeah, I didn't know that. I noticed that, but I didn't think about that. I didn't think it was the same exact droid. That'd
yeah,
be kind of cool.
yeah.
Also, the bartending droid was the Jabba's torture droid that he had.
Oh,
Like the same.
really?
I don't know if it was the exact same one. It was the same type. That same kind of that one that like talking to C-3PO and R2D2 to telling them what jobs they're gonna get.
Oh, wow. I don't even
But
remember that.
actually, no, I don't think it was. I think it had a different voice. The one bar.
I see. MXC just said it was a medical droid. I was gonna say it looked a little bit more like that. I don't know.
Also, I don't like. It was just something I will have to look at it again, but it kind of caught my eye. The bar, like the droid, the bar, the background behind it. I don't know if it was like the little funnels or whatever they do, but they look like the heads of those IG-88 droids. Too. It's just like
Oh, I didn't notice that either.
I don't know. I was just thinking, it was like, wait, this is run by droids, but is it using droids? Like I'm just a little. Um, so much is happening in this episode, and I'm
Yeah,
just like,
yeah, there's a lot of like little details. DC just pointed out um, the kid. So what's his name?
yeah, that too.
Toro said it looks like he was sitting in Han's booth. I didn't even notice
Yeah,
that either.
it's like Han's booth, or I think it was this booth that him and Greedo sat at.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, it's just so many references.
Yeah.
It's like we know these things,
Mm-hmm.
even though the characters have no idea what kind of
Yeah,
did.
they don't. Goes right over their heads.
um, like the kid or the Mandalorian, everybody, they have no idea that they're sitting where everything started.
Yeah, where it all began. I guess it's an interesting way to look at it, kind of coming full circle in a way, like returning to the planet where it all started for
Yeah,
us, anyway.
yeah,
All right, so, all right, Mando goes to Cantina to look for work. Um, and there he talks to the bartender, and the bartender's like there's no guild here or whatever. And he's like, I'm not with the guild anymore. Just looking for work, you know. And Toro, this guy Toro, I forget his last name. Um, Toro overhears him and he's like, hey, I got a job for you. Um, and he says he's looking for this person named Fennec Shand.
yeah.
And, you know, and this Fennec Shand has like a reputation. Very
She's like
dangerous, worked for the Huts, you know, took out a lot of people, like very dangerous. And
basically, this kid has no chance by himself.
yeah, he's like, you won't, Mando's like, you won't make it. Um, but he's like, you know, that's why I need your help. And, you know, Mando's like, no. And then Toro's like, well, listen, I'm going to give you all the money. Thing is, like, I'm trying to get, this is my first job. I'm trying to get into the guild. So,
This
like,
is initiation.
yeah. So you can take all the money. I just need the job. I need to be successful, you know, to get into the guild. So, So when he finds out he could take all the money, he says, "Okay,
Uh,
give me the tracking fob and meet me at Docking Bay 35 where his ship
yeah.
is." So
And I gotta say, I love it's like, here, give me the tracking phone. The kid's like
yeah,
smashes it. And I love the look the Mandalorian gives. He just has this like
right through the helmet, you could just
it's
see
just
it.
like, did you just do that? Like like y- it was like a you little what?
And he's like, "I got it all memorized."
Yeah. That was just that was probably the funniest moment for
Yeah.
me.
Um. All right. So then, okay. So then he heads back to Docking Bay 35. Um.
Baby's missing.
Baby's missing. He panics. He goes into full panic mode. He's like, "I left it right here," and then Pelly comes out and scolds him like, like a mother scolding her child. It was really funny.
It's like
She
you
yells at him
can't.
for leaving the baby behind. Like, you can't leave a baby alone.
Yeah, you have no idea how to raise a young one.
No. And this is not going to be the first time he gets himself into trouble. Obviously, he's done it many times already. But yeah, he really has no idea how to take care of this kid.
Yeah,
Um,
for the few months, or I guess month to a couple few weeks he's had him, he's been really lucky with taking care of this kid. Like, kid hasn't starved, kid hasn't
I don't know how he's still alive. Between all the
just
space
like
battles and
kids
bounties on
pushing
his head.
buttons.
Yeah, pressing all the buttons.
It's like kid's gonna flush himself down the toilet. Vacuum space.
Now, this is interesting. Does Baby Yoda wear diapers? Like, does the Mandalorian change diapers?
I mean, yeah, I know. It's like he's a baby, but he can walk. But is he a baby? But is he small? Like, what is?
Maybe the Mandalorian is potty training him.
That's the only thing I
These
can.
are the real questions, guys, okay? These are the real questions.
Baby Yoda has just brought more questions, so many questions to the table. The
Okay.
Yodelorian.
The
How
Yodelorian.
did you come to be?
Their celebrity name. All right, so he meets up with Toro. He gets him some speeders, which I thought they were pretty cool looking speeders, by the way. Um,
Yeah. Oh, swoop bikes, I think they were.
what were they called?
Swoop bikes, I think. I think like in a couple of old games had bikes similar to
You know,
those.
I was gonna say it reminded me of the speeders in Old Republic. Um,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's like cool seeing them in person.
Yeah.
Um, Daniel, hard hitting questions. Yes, these are the real questions. um, so yeah, so they take off. And so I love that scene when they first take off on their speeders because of the music in that scene.
Yeah.
It was so like, I don't know, just like, yeah,
Yeah. So
I don't even know
I
what the word
it,
is.
it reminded me like it's like when you see two Western people just go out on a horse and just
On their
start riding real
horses. Yeah, that's a good
fast.
way to put it. There was
Yeah, and then
something about it.
yeah, but I mean this was doing a good job of like bringing what translating like an old feeling into a new era of
Yeah.
something. This show is like fitting real well with being classic while being its own thing and new.
Mm. Yeah, I would agree
Is
with
what
that.
Star Wars is really good at. I
Yeah.
feel.
Okay. On to the next. So, all right, so they're on their way there, and then they're in the middle of the desert, and the Mandalorian stops him, and he's like, um, do you like, look out ahead of you? And he takes the binocs, and he calls them like
Yeah.
binoculars, and they see the Sand People and
Couple
the
banthas,
Banthas. Um,
and I thought we were gonna get another jump attack scene.
yeah.
I thought like
I don't remember
uh,
exactly what Toro says, but Mando's like, "Why don't you tell them yourself?" And he looks over, and like two Sand People are right there, and I'm
they're just
like,
right.
oh my god, this is gonna be like another like epic fist fight battle, whatever. And then the
Yeah, no,
Mandalorian's like, like, I got this. And he starts doing these, like, I thought it was like
Wait,
baseball.
yeah. Like I remember like somebody mentioned this like, so is there like universal sign language in Star Wars or something?
Oh, I thought it was interesting. Like, we never really know how the Sand People communicate. Like, we've never seen that before. Um,
Yeah,
like they do like these calls, or whatever, or
yeah.
these war cries. I don't know what you call it. So I wonder if that's how they communicate, maybe outside of their species. Like,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah,
I
and
don't know.
I did like that little reference the Mandalorian said, where it's basically the Tusken Raiders are the natives, like
Mm-hmm.
it's their planet. Everybody else
Yeah.
is outsiders, which
Yeah. Like he understood that, and he wasn't like. It's just interesting the Mandalorian being who he is. Like, I don't know, you would have thought he would have started a fight, but he was like, no, I'm gonna like. He chose to do it peacefully, which I thought was really interesting.
yeah,
Um,
especially in it shows like the Sand People are they have communication of sorts. They understand trading and the they're not just savages or whatever.
yeah, it's just, I guess, not to overthink it, but I was like, well, then how come anytime we've ever seen them, nobody ever tried to negotiate with them? Like when they attacked Luke,
Hmm?
they just attacked Luke.
Yeah,
They didn't. I don't know. Like, you
yeah.
would
They
think
didn't
Luke
try.
was native to the land. You would think he would have known how to communicate with them. Like, why is it that the Mandalorian knew exactly what to do? I don't know.
Maybe they have like Mandalorian stories too. Maybe they've also recognized him and his like there's a very maybe since like the Mandalorians are very tribal, then the Tuscans are very kind of tribal and such. I don't know. That is a really interesting question. Maybe they knew they were out of their element or something like that. They realized like, okay, this guy's serious business versus like Luke, who's just a farm boy all by himself. We can catch this
Maybe.
guy off guard.
Um, yeah, I have to think about that. I'm just reading some of these comments. Do Sand people even have a spoken language?
Yeah, that's,
I know. I guess it's kind of like what we're saying. Like, maybe like between their people, they use those cries, those calls, like,
yeah,
like animals. Not that they're animals, but
yeah.
they're people too.
I was
Um,
going like, are those their faces or are those their mat? Like, is it a? It's a mask, I think, but it's like
it's
those
like they're
are.
yeah, they wrap themselves in clothing, so I don't know if we
How
really
much of them is alien? Is the
yeah,
question. Like,
yeah. I don't I think there's some type of alien species, but like I don't know if we've ever
yeah.
really seen.
I know there's a story about a Tuscan Raider who became a Jedi, but he looked human. So I don't know if he was like joined the tribe when he was young, like he became a foundling to these Tuscan Raider, or
Hmm.
he joined Jedi or something. It's a really interesting story, and he actually did talk to Anakin about what Anakin did, because Anakin did confess what he did to the Tuscans
Oh.
um, in this one story.
That's interesting.
But he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't tell on Anakin. He doesn't rat Anakin. He does explain that you need to work on your darkness sort of
Yeah.
situation.
Understatement. Too little, too late though. um, DC says they should have used subtitles during negotiations. That would have been funny.
Yeah, I really liked that scene.
Yeah, that was cool. It was surprising. Like, it didn't go the way I thought it would go.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
um, all right. So anyway, so the Mandalorian goes into non-aggressive negotiations, and he offers the Sand People the binocs.
the
That
kid's binocs. He just
yeah, and
here,
Toro
give me your
gets
technology.
yeah, he
Put them
gets all
at it.
mad. Those are brand new. Um, but it allowed them safe passage across their land. So
I will say that's like okay, so these two Tuscans know about the trade. How are
mhm.
they going to tell like the hundreds of
I
other
was thinking
Tuscans
about that
across
too.
this?
Like how how did that work? Unless they did one of those call things and communicated
Maybe.
across the land. But yeah, like who's to say that the other Sand People or the Tuscan Raiders or whatever aren't gonna attack them? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. That was weird.
Um, yeah, I did. I also kind of like that. In a way, this is the Mandalorian showing that if you're going to be in the guild, and you're going to be a bounty hunter, you're going to be in the part of the job. You're going to have to not hold on to things. Not you're going to have to make tough
Yeah,
decisions. It's one of those like he's kind of teaching while he's helping.
true.
Yeah.
True. Um, all right. So, um, all right. So anyway, they continue on their way. Um, then okay, hold on. I'm just gonna look at my notes here. Um, oh right, they spot the
Do
eventually they
back,
stop. They spot a creature. I can't remember the name of it.
do back. The
Dewback,
spell wizard.
yes, with
Yeah.
his dead writer. The writer,
Mm,
whoever was writing it, was dead and like still attached to the saddle and hanging off. And so
yeah.
the Mandalorian goes to approach it while Toro covers him. Um, and they could see he's a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And then at that point, oh yeah, and they see
See,
a fob on him.
yeah, he sees there's a fob, and the fob is basically telling him that she's close,
Yeah.
that she's not that far away.
And then next thing we know, Mando starts to get shot at, and actually does get shot.
Yeah,
And he runs for cover by Toro. Toro was like, how are you okay? He's like, oh, the Beskar
yeah, the best guy's guy.
protected him, and he's like, I don't have Beskar.
Nope, no, you don't. You have to come with the new plan. Um, I will say this: it's kind of a weird little nitpick, but how does a thermal vision sensor work in the sand?
What do you mean?
Like, shouldn't it be hard to see like something like shouldn't it be hard to see a heat signature of around surrounded by heat and like sand and
I
sunlight?
see what you're saying.
It's just a I don't know, maybe it's a special kind of thermal signature scope that she was using, but it's just one of those things that made me realize, wait a minute, how does that work?
I don't know. This is Star Wars. Anything's possible. They could have really like high tech technology.
Yeah,
um, I didn't think about that, but that is an interesting point. How did
yeah,
that work? But I'm gonna guess there must be special features. I don't know.
yeah. Maybe like a way to turn down the contrast,
Yeah.
um, exposure. Yeah. So
Um,
Mando gets back to safety, realizes she has the high ground, and decides not to underestimate her power.
I like that reference. She has the high ground. She's waiting for us to make the next move. So, another reference to the prequels. And I guess you could look at that as a little reference to Obi-Wan. I didn't think of it like that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so anyway, so they wait till nightfall. They sleep in shifts. And then once nightfall arrives, they're ready to attack. And their plan is to like approach her on the speeders, but they're going to use these
Flash,
charges. Yeah.
flash, kind of flare flash bang thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To
Um,
like blind her, which I thought was a good
yeah.
idea. That was
It was
pretty
actually
interesting.
yeah. I really liked that scene. That was a really clever like
Yeah.
tension building, but also it's like how these two are working together to get something done because it's not easy because without by themselves it would be very impossible to do.
Yeah. 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 Two unlikely people working together as a pair. Um,
Also, that one little moment where Toro's like playing around with his blaster, while Mando's sleeping, or he
oh
thinks
yeah,
he's sleeping.
I forgot about that. Are you done?
He's just like, "You done?" He's like, "Yep, yep, I'm done. I'm done."
um. Anyway, so yeah, so their plan works, and like she's shooting at them, they're blinding her, but then at one point she shoots at them, gets the Mando's speeder,
Speeder.
and I think shoots like
She
gets
shoots him
him.
again, kind of knocks him down.
Um, and then Toro and Fennec kind of like face off each other while like the Mando is recovering. And so we get another really cool like fist fight. Um, You're reading what Daniel said. Off-screen parking pass.
Yeah.
And the sand cooled down 100 degrees in 2 hours. Totally possible. Elsewhere, the Tusken have been present for millennia on Tatooine, and if I do not say, and I do not say that we're already there when this planet was green.
Oh, right. I think. Oh, yeah. There's like a history with Tatooine that it like became a desert planet. I think.
Oh, really?
I
Is it
think.
canon?
Again, it's canon until it's proven not.
Okay, okay.
It's just one of those little like, is it? Are you or not? What has Disney done to you?
All right. All right. So they get into a fist fight. Um, Fennec gets Toro into like this headlock with her legs, and he's like choking, bones are cracking, and then all of a sudden, like the Mando shows up with his, blaster, and
Yeah.
she's kind of like, all right,
All right, I've lost.
yeah, and they hand her some cuffs. She cuffs herself, um, and oh wait, hold on, turn my page here. So then, but the Mando's like, all right, I need to go back and get the dew back. So you stay here with her and watch her while I go back and get the dew back.
Actually, yeah. Actually, he was like, you go get the do back, and I'll
Oh,
stay and watch her. And he's no. I don't trust you, even
yeah,
though all that's like I don't. So there's like that little bit of like, even though they're working together, there's still that tension of
distrust. Yeah,
distrust. Yeah, and I believe like the Mando would have been totally fine. Like he would have totally not taken the kid, like taken her, and he would have waited for the kid.
yeah,
But it's still one of those things where it's like, uh, we don't. The kid clearly wouldn't trust. Like takes advantage of him. He doesn't want to be like taken advantage of. So he's putting the best situation in his hands.
yeah, yeah. But it's interesting to think about how things probably would have been different, turned out differently
Yeah.
if the Mando had stayed. Um, but uh, whatchamacallit? I can't read my own handwriting. Oh, okay. Yeah. So so Fennec takes advantage of this time. I guess she can kind of sense that he's like the weaker of the two. That like she feels like she can kind of manipulate him, and tries to like connect with him and in different ways. And what she eventually starts to do is to like try to make him second guess the Mandalorian. Like he's using you, or he's taking advantage of you or whatever. And then he's like, no, like I'm paying him or whatever. I just need the job. And
Yeah.
then she tells him like, you do realize there was like a bounty on his head. He shot up a guild.
He's
um
he's worth like you're gonna get way more out of him than you would me,
mhm.
and I can help you with that.
Yeah, right. And she says also, there's rumored that he took a child, that it's still with him. So then he starts to think,
He
um,
realizes that that child that he saw earlier, which he kind of ignored, like he kind of looked and was like, nah,
yeah,
like, and he's like, oh, he puts like two and two together.
yeah. Um, so, so he starts to kind of listen to her, and you could kind of see the wheels turning, and um, so yeah. So like you said, she offers to help him, and you see him put his blaster away, and he kind of inches
Yeah,
closer to her, and she puts her hands up to like she thinks he's gonna release her
yeah,
so that they would work
yeah.
together. And then like out of nowhere, he just pulls
He
his
just,
blaster and shoots her. I did not
and
see that coming.
I didn't either. I was just thinking, okay, it's gonna be like maybe like a classic. He's gonna let her go, and maybe they do work together and try and fight the Mandalorian, or maybe she takes him out and gets away and sort of thing. Like, but yeah, like the idea that he was gonna just straight up shoot her was like I didn't think that like that he was gonna play that game.
Yeah, I didn't think he had that in him, honestly. Um, but he did.
Yeah,
And and he
Which
just leaves
I'll
her
give him
there.
credit for that. I'll give him credit. He did make a smarter move if he was, gonna do make a deal.
Yeah, he definitely grew a backbone between the beginning of the episode and that point. um, but I guess you know what, if he had taken her with him, like who knows what she would have done. One, she could have escaped. Two, she could have taken credit for getting the Mandalorian, and he would have
Yeah,
lost the credit and the credits. And
yeah,
um, so hey, Brando, how are you? Um,
yeah. Brando.
and so yeah, so then anyway, so then he takes off and he heads back to um, well, next scene we see the Mando returns back
Yeah,
to this scene,
Mandalorian
and he sees that Fennec is dead,
on
and
dude back.
what's that?
He's on dude
He's
back.
on the do back. He got it. He went back as he promised he would, and he sees that she's dead, and obviously he doesn't know exactly what happened, but he returns back to the docking bay, and he goes there. It's dark. He pulls his gun, his blaster, and he hears Toro talking to him. And then he reveals himself, and he's holding both poor baby Yoda and Pelly at gunpoint.
Hmm.
So he tells the Mando, drop your gun, drop your weapon, and
Yeah,
he does. Put your hands in the air. He puts his hands in the air on his head, and he tells Pelly, go and handcuff him.
yeah.
So Pelly walks over and she puts, these handcuffs like behind his head. She doesn't put it on him, but she goes behind his head, and she's like, "You're
She
smarter
sees
than you look."
she sees the little flashbang that he's got ready to
hmm
light.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, yeah, the big flash of light. And in that moment, the Mando shoots at Toro, which I don't know how he didn't get Baby Yoda. He's got good
Oh
aim.
yeah, he shoots Toro and he doesn't like fall on Baby Yoda. He like falls with the kid. And
Yeah, and poor Baby
there's a
Yoda disappears, and
horse.
Pelly runs, and she's so worried about poor Baby Yoda. Like at this point, you could see she's gotten so attached to him,
Mhm.
and she's like, "Where is he? Where is he?" And then like you see little Baby Yoda coming out from behind the box, and he's like this, like pick me up.
Save me, pick me. Hey. It's a scary man.
Yeah. So so
So
yeah, and
yeah,
anyway, so Toro is dead,
yeah.
and
Rip.
Baby Yoda is safe. Pelly is safe, and
Mando takes the credits or whatever money he had on him and pays for
yeah,
himself with that money.
yeah, pays for the ship, pays for babysitting services.
So will it cover me? It's like, yeah, yeah,
Yep, it's a
yeah, that'll
lot.
cover me.
um,
So
MXC. Am I the only one that thinks that Pelly could be Ray's mother? There's a possibility in every episode. Ray was a heck of a
I want to
parts
make a
scrapper.
bet, but I'm not going to because the chances of you being right are still there.
Yeah. um. Uh. Yeah. So
Him
So
and Baby Yoda fly off back
they
out of space,
they
leaving the planet
fl-
behind.
they fly off, and we hear Pelly tell the droids to drag the body to Beggar's Canyon.
Beggars Canyon. Just get rid of it. Just
Another
all the way out.
reference to A New Hope. Um.
Like, how far is Beggars? Like, how close is Beggars Canyon to Mos Eisley? If it's like just drag it like a few miles away or something.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like yeah, like a corner of I can't say it, Mos Eisley. um. Yeah. Well.
And yeah, and we get to the final scene.
Yes. So. Um. So we if it's flesh, it shows the Fennec dead back where we left her, and we see these like boots approaching, all
And we
very
hear this
dark.
kind of spurs. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like clicks and
And
clangs,
then kneels down beside her,
and
and
then
then
cut.
it fades out, and we don't see who it is. Now, so initially, okay, so when I first watched it, I was like, what? I was like, who is that? But then I read an article. So like I didn't have a guess, and then I read an article.
I had a guess.
What was your guess?
Okay, even though have you seen the kind of unfinished, deleted scene, unfinished Clone Wars episode with Boba Fett and Cad Bane?
I didn't see it.
Okay, well, there's a deleted scene that explains what happens. Like, they were supposed to, they didn't get to finish it.
Hmm.
It's supposed to explain what happens to both of those characters and how they split apart.
Okay.
Um, like, in fact, you should probably do a reaction video to that. That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I'll check that out.
there, I like Cad Bane from Clone Wars. You know, he's that kind of cowboy, western-looking blue bounty hunter
Hmm.
that we had to deal with
Yeah.
for a while. Um, I I thought it was him, and I like I said, I'm not 100% sure if it's not, but um, like they could retcon what happens in the Clone Wars thing,
Hmm.
but since it was not finished, but um,
Cad Bane would
yeah,
be
that's
cool. I So again, I didn't have a guess. The article that I read said Boba Fett, but
yeah,
because of the
and
spurs.
yeah, that's what I did not know that Boba Fett made jingle jangle when he walked.
I did not know that either.
Like I actually looked up a video, like for that all that. I was like, oh, I hear it now.
Yeah, not a detail that I picked up on, but yes, I read in the article that like you can hear it in I think it was Empire Strikes Back, or maybe in
Yeah,
that and Return of the Jedi. I'm not sure. But I was like, oh, but for me personally, I think it would be cooler to see Cad Bane than Boba Fett
yeah,
because I want to see Cad Bane in
live action.
yeah, like live action. Yeah, like I think that would be cool. Because he was a cool villain, you know.
Yeah, he was.
Boba Fett we've
He's
seen.
yeah.
I'm over
I
it.
mean, in a way, I feel like it would be. It would. It was Tatooine.
Hmm.
It was Tatooine. It was the Spurs.
Boba
There's
makes more sense.
yeah, Boba makes more sense, and it's the Mandalorian,
Yeah.
which is another character that
It
um
makes a lot more sense. And you
the
can kind of
armor
see, like when he kneels down on his thigh, you can see what looks like at least looks like armor
armor, yeah.
on his upper thigh.
Um,
So let's see what everybody else says here. I'm curious. Daniel Davis, hello, how are you? Thank you for stopping by.
what do you guys? What does the chat think?
Yeah,
Like,
what do you all think of who was that at the end?
what's your vote on who you think it is?
It's the gunslinger. The title of the
Some
episode.
people there's another there's like other it's like there's a couple of characters we saw in the trailer
Hmm.
who it could be instead. Like there was the Imperial there was that one Imperial like leader guy who we haven't met yet from the trailer that we saw. There's also this other guy, like this other gunslinger looking guy we saw in the trailer, so it could be him.
I'd have to go back
Uh,
and watch the trailer again.
yeah,
Um,
so it could be those characters, but yeah, I'm hoping because they did hide his face, they did hide who it was. So
it's going to be a big reveal, and we might not even find out in the next episode. I mean, this might not happen
yeah,
until like the finale,
yeah,
which is only 3 episodes away. So, um, all right. So we have some guesses here. Daniel says he thinks it could be Cad Bane. His guess is that it would be Cad Bane, but watch it be Carl Weathers' character or Giancarlo Esposito. He says it's not Boba
yeah,
Fett. It's not the guys from episode 3. Brenda also thinks it could be Cad Bane. Um, or it could be Bill Burr's character.
yeah. There's
Um,
like I I honestly do kind of want to see if Boba Fett's still alive. So I just want that confirmation sort of thing.
I feel like they would give that to. I feel so. Here's the thing. I feel like it being Boba Fett wouldn't have. Maybe I'm wrong here. Would Boba Fett have as much of a shock factor as Cad Bane would? Like, what would people get more excited about? Like, I know people want Boba Fett to come back, but like, would they do it in this way? I don't know. I.
Okay, this was directed by Dave Filoni. This episode,
Mhm.
so he was kind of in charge of this. What this was going to reveal. So
Hmm. Mexi, it's like it's Lisa Bagano from episode 2.
oh god,
He's trying to sell the Fennec some death sticks. I don't think
This
she
is how
needs
you
them
get dead.
anymore. She's dead.
That's how you get dead. Get the dead.
um, you do not sell a stick of death. I don't know. So anyway, well, my preference would be Cad Bane. I think that'd be cooler than Boba Fett. Like, I feel like Boba Fett. There are other ways to bring him back.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like Boba Fett would steal the limelight of the Mandalorian. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like,
I feel like since Boba Fett was such a, it's in a way. This is the funny thing is Boba Fett was a background character in the
yeah,
original trilogy. So like I love what George Lucas said in the commentary. It was like he was shocked by how popular Boba Fett became because
yeah,
he just thought him as one of the mercenaries or something.
yeah.
That's why Boba Fett got such a stupid death. Is that he just was this some background character, so he didn't put that much. And now Boba Fett's part of the origin of the clones. He
Mm-hmm.
made Boba Fett this whole backstory.
Yep, he got a big backstory, and I think, well, wasn't it? I think it was George Lucas who confirmed that Boba Fett was still alive, but George Lucas doesn't own Star Wars anymore, so
Yeah,
who knows?
yeah. Again, like Boba Fett has come back in the original, in the old EU.
Mm-hmm.
He did survive, but canon. There was like I think somewhere I think in one of the canon books, like Aftermath or something, one of the new books that came out, confirmed that somebody had found Boba Fett's armor. They didn't find Boba Fett, but they found his armor.
Hmm.
So I don't like know like if that's of course that's in canon. So I don't know how that's gonna play
Yeah.
with the rest of the story. So again, I don't know. I agree though. I would like Cad Bane simply because it's a character that we know, but it's also a character that is new for some people who probably haven't watched Clone Wars before.
That's well. Okay, so that's an interesting point. Like, for it's if it was Cad Bane, so those of us who have seen the Clone Wars would be excited about it, but there are tons and tons of people who haven't seen it, and they're going to be like, "Who is this, and why is it a big deal?" So they might not care.
Yeah,
So maybe it wouldn't be Cad Bane because it wouldn't have
yeah,
the
same impact.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, just that was my initial reaction thought was that it was Cad Bane
That'd be
when
well.
I
That's what
first.
that's yeah. I like that theory. That's what I'm gonna root for.
Yeah. Um. Again, it's like if it is Boba Fett, is he still a bounty hunter? Like, is he still doing bounty hunting? Because clearly I think he had a fob, or that's how. I don't know if I heard a fob. I can't remember now.
I
But is
can't
that how
remember
he
if I heard one, but it would make sense because how else would they have
found the body?
found the body? Yeah.
So yeah.
So maybe. Um, question from MXC. Question is, was it someone hunting Fennec, the child Mandalorian, or someone meeting Fennec? Oh, it could have
Yeah.
been whoever she was supposed to rendezvous with at Mos Espa.
Mm,
I didn't think of that. Unless that was
that's a
a
good
setup for
point.
her. Unless whoever was there was trying to set her up and
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I yeah, I do. I believe honestly this was somebody looking for Fennec, not like the Mandalorian or
yeah, because I feel like if they were looking for the Mandalorian, it would have brought them to the Mandalorian, not the last spot that he was in. I could be
yeah,
wrong though. Um, I feel like I would. My guess is that it would have taken them to. That they were looking for Fennec.
yeah.
These
And
these
yeah, that's
fobs, man, they're all over the place.
we have 3 more episodes.
Only three, I know. I can't believe
So
that. It's
it, it, it's been so short, but it feels like it's been going on for such a long time.
I know. And well, you know what? I think it's because well, I feel like it's because they spaced it out. Like it's a good thing they didn't just put all episodes on at once and
Yeah,
we binge watched it.
the weekly feel to it.
yeah.
That how do you feel about that? Do you feel like do you prefer binge watching all at once, sort of drop box, or do you prefer weekly? Um,
So I
watches?
prefer weekly because I find when I binge watch something, I don't get the full impact of the story. Like each week, each episode is supposed to kind of like there needs to be a period of time where it kind of like seeps in and you have to like I don't know, connect with the story and kind of mull it over. I feel like when you watch one after the other, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm talking from like so like okay, so I'm also a Doctor Who fan like you, and when I started watching Doctor Who, I binge watched it.
Mm.
So and I found what's like Matt Smith's character. Like I remember binge watching his season, one of his seasons, and
Yeah.
like I didn't connect with him right away. It wasn't
Mm.
until later on when like I was caught up and I was watching one episode a week, like when it was on TV, that I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I appreciate him more now. Like I feel like I understand his character more, and um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like because you need that processing time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Especially, not only does one episode, I kind of prefer this because it makes talking about it so much easier. And I like that some people say it's like it makes it last longer. It makes it people keep constantly talking about. It. Whereas like other shows who drop it, people will be talking about it and they'll be done in like 2 weeks or
Yeah,
something like that. And it's
yeah,
like which because I mean there's a lot of good shows, but it's a shame that people they don't laugh. They don't have that kind of um, that they don't the discussions aren't as long or lengthy or people are already kind of over moving
yeah,
on by that time.
yeah. DreamX, hello, how are you? I think it's Grief Karga, the guild leader, who also wears a cape. Just my thoughts. That's an interesting theory. Winston, hey, how are you? Thank you guys for stopping in. And thank you for those of you who have been sticking around with us since the beginning. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We just finished talking about The Mandalorian. Um, and like we're just in the middle of talking about, how it's set up and, watching it on a week to week
Streaming
basis. Yeah.
preparations, all that.
Yeah. Um, So yeah, so like back to like our overall impression of this episode. Like I mean I loved it, and I get very nostalgic, so many references to the original trilogy and even the prequels, but
Yeah.
it made kind of made you feel like you were back in episode 4 and where it, like we said where it all started. So and I kind of just felt like that was the main I guess that was the main purpose of it for me at
Hmm.
least. I didn't feel like it necessarily, like I said, drove the plot forward in any way, as some might call a filler episode. I felt like this was more of a filler than the last one,
Yeah.
because it like even if this episode didn't happen, it doesn't change as far as we know the
I agree. Like
overall.
if I was to say which one's more filler, I will say this one.
Hmm.
But I will, yeah. But I did probably enjoy this one's just the feeling of it better than the other one.
It's funny. I
I
like the
don't
other
know.
one. I like the other one better. Well, for
Um,
different reasons. For different reasons.
yeah,
I wouldn't.
yeah. It's
I
so far the show's still good. The show's still good. The show's still good.
Yeah, I liked what I liked about the other episode was that it helped me see the Mandalorian in a new light, like that more.
Yeah,
I mean, he is human, but more of that just that human side of him, um, as opposed to the Mandalorian side of him. And I guess as a viewer, I like that kind of stuff in a story.
yeah,
But yet, as a Star Wars fan, I like this episode better
yeah.
because it was like original trilogy.
I
Episode 4
I will
being
say I think
released.
maybe this episode did kind of like the one little thing I will say the episode probably like was lacking was that kind of made it feel a little less connected to the main plot
Yeah,
was the lack of Baby Yoda actually having a
that's a good point. We didn't really have much of Baby Yoda. I mean, he
yeah
still stole the show, but like we didn't have as much of him.
yeah he was really in the background for most of this episode and only at the end did he really have any plot purpose.
Yeah. But I guess they have to do that because, you know,
It's a Mandalorian. It's
not the
not
Yodelorian.
not Baby Yoda show. Eventually it'll be Yoda
Yeah.
hopefully.
But yeah, poor Baby Yoda stole the show. Um, I
Yeah.
want a Baby Yoda. Both sipping little smartass. MXC. Um,
So you ready to throw questions?
all right, yes. So every week Inspector here throws a question at us. I also came prepared with one this week. But you may go first, Inspector.
All right. Yeah, I'll go first because mine's probably easier than yours. All right. So yeah, it's a simple question this time. What creature, um, animal, whatever, what would you like as a pet? Simple, like little pet animal in Star Wars. What Star Wars creature pet? Like it could be anything from Porg to Rancor.
Oh, I forgot about the porgs. Hmm.
And we have not decided if Baby Yoda counts as a pet.
I asked him this before we started streaming. I was like, "Does Baby Yoda count?" I guess not because he's an alien. He's not like a
Yeah.
pet. I don't know.
No,
My
so it's one
original.
of those things like
Go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say it's like what like in Star Wars, like what aliens count as pets and what aliens count as sentients.
Oh, Daniel says BD1, final
Okay.
answer. That's a
Uh,
droid, not a pet.
we had the droid discussion last week.
MXC
Sorry,
says
Daniel.
Rancor. You're crazy. And Dream X says Jawa.
Jawa.
Daniel says Gungan as well. Oh, Brandon says Loth Cat.
Cat. Wildcat's yeah.
Oh, Elsa has a question. In the geopolitical context of the fall of the Palpatine Empire, what do you think Baby Yoda thinks about the frog growth in a desert environment? Hmm. I don't know. Do frogs hang out in the desert?
Oh, horny toads.
um, my original answer was going to be the monkey lizard
Oh yeah,
from
the
Jabba's
quaking monkey lizard.
palace, but I wasn't thinking about the porgs. I do love the porgs. I think they're really cute. So I think
Yeah,
my final answer would be a porg.
yeah. Okay. As a indoor, small pet, my answer would be pork. But as something like outdoors, travel thing, I would pick those uh the the lizard creatures that Obi-Wan rode in Utapau, that boga lizard. Um that I can't remember what they're called, but the big those the one he rides when chasing General Grievous
Oh,
in Revenge of the yeah,
Revenge of the
that
Sith.
lizard
I
creature.
remember him writing something, but I can't remember what it looks like. I know it's big.
Its name was Boga, but I can't remember what species it was, but it was but yeah, it was like a bird lizard creature. And I just think that was just really cool to actually have and ride
A
on.
Varictyl? Varictyl? Am I saying that right? I had
Varictyl?
one in Galaxy. Oh, Daniel played
Oh yeah,
Galaxy.
like there are mounts you can get, I think, in the MMOs. One of the MMOs.
Um,
Galaxies, yeah.
no one picked
No,
Octopacato. You can get that Mountain Old
no,
Republic
because
or Tauntaun.
Baby Yoda will eat that frog.
Listen, if you have Baby Yoda, you don't need a pet.
Baby Yoda will grow and eat giant Otopods.
Oh my god. Sarlacc. Um, Dewback.
Dewback. All good answers. All good choices.
A lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
I say pork. All right, time for my question.
All right, all you ready?
Okay, so if you had to be the apprentice to any dark side character in the Star Wars universe, who would it be? It could be anybody um, from the movies, from canon, from not canon, from the video games, from like the books. If you could be the apprentice to any dark side character, who would it be?
Yeah. Uh,
You? What?
no, she's the apprentice to Darth Mannequin.
Yeah, there you go. My little dog. Final answer, I have spoken. um, I never say the name right. Vidiate. Bonus, I get to hang out with Balin. Oh, that's your video game crush. Revan, good answer.
Ah, man, I just see. It's one of those things. Is like when you pick a dark side here, what are you picking? Power or benefits of survival?
I know that's a good point. It's like whoever you are the apprentice to, you have to make sure that you're going to survive. Brando says Darth Maul. He's I would love to learn like his fighting style. Like
Yeah, in a weird way, Darth Maul was actually very caring. Um, even though he was very ruthless, he still cared about his own.
yeah, like his brother his
Even
people.
some of the Mandalorians that he had on his side
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, there was that other side to him. Um Darth Vader, I guess there's pros and cons to each of them. Like Darth Vader, I felt like he had a very deep understanding of the Force from his days as a Jedi, and he was very powerful. So, um, and definitely not Palpatine. Palpatine's just crazy.
I think I'd go with Plagueis.
Plagueis,
Yeah.
Darth Plagueis the Wise. It's not a story the Jedi would tell.
I just sit and talk with just learn everything he knew.
There you go. That's a good answer. Emperor Palpatine wasn't so bad. Amazing health care, replacement limbs, good gear, bonus armor.
The armor did so much good, didn't it, against the rebellion?
DreamX Darth Jar Jar. There you go. I like that. Um, I don't even really know who my answer would be, to be honest with you. I guess it would be. I mean, it's funny because it's funny. I hate Darth Maul because of what he did to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, I'm very passionate about that. But like Darth Maul, like I said, Darth Maul was an excellent like fighter. Like, um, I'd like to learn his skills.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that's
MXC's making fun of me. You can't even answer your own question.
yeah. I was yeah. He's got a point. I was thinking that too.
You know how stressed I was about coming up with a question? Okay, at least I found a question. Doesn't matter if I can't answer it or not. I'm a Jedi at heart. I think Darth Maul is growing on you. Maybe a little. Let me tell you, it was so funny. Like the video I just reacted to, the tragedy of Darth Maul. In the beginning of it, I was like, this is ridiculous. The tragedy of Darth Maul. He wasn't a tragedy. Like he created tragedies around him, and then I watched and it was like, oh wow, that was a tragedy. It like really flipped me by the end of it. He's growing on me a little bit.
It's like for a guy who lost his entire lower half. He's doing well.
Yeah.
for all things considered.
Yeah, he was sliced and diced. AFK, I'm going to watch a commercial about an old man being mean to his neighbors to get turned around by a young boy's cart. The feelings. It's a reference to a Hallmark commercial. We'll get you the rest of the way.
Explain the plot of so many Hallmark movies to me. So many spoilers.
Spoilers. We give away all the Hallmark spoilers here. We're Hallmark fans here, and we're Star Wars nerds and Hallmark nerds. But I converted them. All right, so yeah. All right, so I know we also talk about Fallen Order sometimes. I have not finished Fallen Order yet. I'm on a brief hiatus.
I will say this. You haven't played like Battlefront 2, the new one, in a long while, right?
Not in a while. I have played it, but yeah, it's been some time. I have to get back to it.
But like they've been updating it constantly and adding new stuff, new planets, new.
I've heard. I haven't checked any of it out.
I still play it occasionally, and it's like, man, it's so much. Like I never had a problem. I mean, there were certainly problems at the beginning when it started, but
yeah.
I never like hated on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely say the game is so much better now than it was back
Yeah.
then. It's improved. It's got so many good modes, so many classes, so many troopers, so many planets. Like there's just so much more now, and they're still adding on. Um, However, there's this one little funny thing that they've recently announced.
Uh-oh.
We're getting two new heroes, two new hero characters to for the Rise from the Rise of Skywalker event that they're going to have soon. We got
Uh-huh.
two new heroes planned. Um, and can you okay? The sequel trilogy based. What heroes do you think we're getting for? Because we already have Rey, Finn, and Kylo. What sequel trilogy hero do you think we are getting?
I would think Poe.
Nope.
Really?
Nope. If any
Snoke?
of you know, don't, I'm looking at the chat. Like, if any of you know, don't say it yet. You know.
I won't peek. Snoke?
Nope.
Or the
And it's
red?
for
Oh, it's a,
one's
oh, it's
for the villain and one's for the hero. So we're
okay.
getting two.
Sith trooper?
Huh?
A Sith trooper? Like
Nope.
those red.
A reinforcement, but not a hero.
All right, it'll come to me. Hold on. Well, I'm trying. Oh, I don't know what all the new characters is. Um, I'm imagining it's not going to be BB-8. Carrie Russell's character.
Nope.
Um, I have no idea.
You give up?
I give up.
It's BB-8.
It is. I said BB-8, but I wasn't
as
serious.
And the villain side is getting BB9, that black first order round droid.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I'd be down with
Yeah.
that.
It's a little kind of like, really, these two? But yeah.
They couldn't do better
Like,
than that.
you just listed like a bunch of other characters I was expecting, but like BB-8,
I can't believe they don't have
BB9.
Poe. That's kind of weird.
I mean, Poe is a starfighter hero, but apart from that, yeah, he's not a ground force.
Hmm.
It's just, yeah, I have to see how they are because they haven't like shown gameplay of them yet, but it's still just that weird little like, yeah, let's like it's gonna be funny to see BB-8 versus Darth Vader. And, like,
I feel like that's a no-brainer. Like BB-8's not gonna win. Yeah, let's see what the chat has to say about this. Okay. Can you list who was a better fighter in The Last Jedi than BB-8? Please let it be Hux. Hux and Sith Trooper are on Galaxy of Heroes. He will yell at people.
yeah, there's oh man, but yeah, I'm like okay, sure. Hopefully, in the next couple of updates, we'll get our more heroes. We'll get maybe like I think there were plans for Padme and Ahsoka and
Oh, that'd be cool.
uh, uh Ventress.
That's
There's
new.
like a bunch, like just routine a bunch of people. Like hopefully that's plans. I don't know if it's confirmed plans, but they're like rumors or people have like I don't know, like not hack the game, but like hacked like data
Mm-hmm.
archives.
Wow.
So it's like there's possibilities.
Next they'll have BD1. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I actually would be like maybe one day we'll get Cal and the second sister as heroes, and maybe like Grand Inquisitor and Kanan Jarrus, the
Kanan would be
rebels.
awesome. I
Yeah.
love him. Oh, that's interesting. So I didn't know that. I had heard, like, I've seen on like social media that there's been some updates and stuff, but I haven't really been like following it. I can't let go of Battlefront 2015. Still my
Wait.
favorite.
Oh.
That was that one I played more regularly than the newer Battlefront. I'm a creature of habit. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time doing new things. I don't like doing new things. They should add Captain Rex. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah. I think they plan to do something with Rex. They do have like ARC troopers and clone commando troopers now,
Mm.
which is fun to play.
Oh yeah, that is
But
cool.
yeah, like
Yep.
you should maybe update it and we'll do like maybe a let's play or something.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, I have to update it. I have it. Well, okay, so I have it on. I did download it for my PC, but I got it first on my PS4. I prefer playing
I
on my
only have it on
PS4.
PS4.
Oh, okay. Um, I
Do you
want to
have?
try. I want to try and connect it to my PC. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah,
Um, Yes, Ventress and Ahsoka are so interesting characters in the series that it would be cool to see series on these two characters. I agree, Elsewhere. That'd be really cool. Brando, you have
yeah,
PS4. Oh, cool. Yeah, I like playing on. I mean, it's funny. I was always a PC gamer, and then when I got my PS4 a few years ago, like I kind of got used to that. With certain games, obviously I play on my PC for Old Republic, but
yeah. I occasionally play PC games because that's what most games started on. I got had occasional consoles. Uh, and then I got a PS4, which is the first PS station I've ever owned. I've
oh yeah.
always had Xboxes before that.
Um,
Um,
all right. I'm trying to think if there's any other Star Wars news. Um, we've been getting a lot of TV spots, but I know you said you haven't been watching them, right? You're trying to go in
no,
with.
yeah, no. I've been seeing like people reacting, seeing like them showing up, but I've not like actually watched any. It's kind of my that's my thing. I'm just avoiding everything
Yeah.
that I can visually see.
Well, what's interesting is like I feel like overall they're not revealing, like, and they're doing this intentionally. They're not revealing much.
Yeah,
Nothing essential to the plot. I feel like,
yeah,
and anything that they're showing, it's like, well, what does it mean? It could mean this. It could mean that. Like nothing too. The only major wow factor was the initial trailer. You saw that, right? Like the main trailer.
yeah. I've seen the two. I've seen the first teaser trailer where they revealed a bunch of things. Where they revealed it. I saw the. I did see the D23 little thing that they had.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that, and I reacted to I reacted to the teaser and the final trailer the one that they announced a while ago, the big one.
Yeah.
Like the final trailer, which is what they called it. But yeah, everything after that, no. Like I've kept my eyes down and
Yeah.
away.
The Rise of Skywalker trailer was that was my first reaction video and my second video ever on the channel. So I have some warm fuzzy feelings for that trailer.
Yeah.
um let's see. I don't mind avoiding anymore. For years they just put in misdirection scenes that didn't even show in the movie.
Yeah.
Um oh. Yeah, like you don't really it's not really telling you much about the movie.
Yeah.
Do they have Maul yet?
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I feel like, especially like the TV spots and the little teasers, like I feel like they can, like I want to experience them for the first time watching the movie.
Yeah.
So most of the little like whatever dialogues or jokes or little things that they throw in there, I want to look at. I wish I would just like I'm not reacting to them,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't want to like ruin that reaction experience
Yeah.
watching the movie.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
sometimes when it's like I watch the trailer, I'm always like looking for the trailer scenes
yeah.
in the movie.
I mean, yeah, if you think about it, that's kind of how we used to go into movies, like really before the internet became what it is today.
Yeah,
Like, we didn't get all these little sneak peeks and whatnot. Like, we just got the trailer.
yeah. Or
Um,
if it was back when we had TVs, like you would lucky to cap a teaser or something.
hmm
And
Yeah. Um, yeah, but now I'm like, I'm one of those people like, I want to get as much as I can. I want to see all the trailers. I want to see all the TV spots. And they've uploaded some featurettes. I haven't watched that, though. Um, just the TV spots. Darth Maul comes to the end of Three Inquisitors. It shows his power. Clone Wars bring Darth Maul back to the life by insulting him with a new breath, making him deeper than a simple villain. Yes, it definitely added some depth to his character in the Clone Wars.
there's Dream's little question. Do they mean by Darth Maul? Do you mean in Battlefront 2?
I think I think they mean in Battlefront 2.
Yeah,
And actually, I think
he
they
was one of
do.
the first.
They do have Darth Maul
He
in
was like
Battlefront
one of
2,
the
right?
first heroes they had automatically in the game. So yeah, he was in there. They haven't. It's one thing is like people are complaining it's like where's Darth Maul's skin? We want Darth Maul like other like skins. Where's like robot legs or anything like that? It's just simple like episode 1 right now.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting that they only have him, yeah, in his regular form.
Yeah, yeah, but they have with a couple of updates they got General Grievous, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin, Count Dooku. So those are now finally in the game. Um, yeah, I think that's all we got that's new, apart from Finn and Phasma.
Hmm.
That's from the Last Jedi update.
Oh, okay. Phasma, that's gotta be pretty cool. Lady Phasma. Oh, I didn't even think of her when I was guessing before.
I mean, I mean, not many others did.
Yeah.
So,
Um. All right. So, all right. So we talked about the games. We talked about the movie, the show. Um. There's a whole bunch of Star Wars, Baby Yoda stuff out there now.
oh, little toys
Like the
and
little toys. Yeah. There's
Funko Pops.
the Funko Pops. Yes.
Yeah,
And I think I heard not until the spring they'll come. They're gonna come out with a Baby Yoda doll.
all plush.
Yeah, like a plush that I want.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think that's like everybody's Christmas list.
yeah,
Just suddenly just went from it's just like what's on the Christmas list? Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda. Oh, wait a minute. MXC Funko ordered T-shirt received. Oh, well, we need to see a picture of this T-shirt MXC on Discord. Just saying.
Yeah, I need to
And
see like all the
Phasma
Baby
probably
Yoda
gets to be with
merch.
paper cuts. I will try to shrink to make a Baby Yoda cosplay. Oh, can you
Next year,
imagine all the cute little kids for Halloween dressing up like Baby Yoda?
all the Halloween costumes, or heck, even like the Star Wars Celebration Con,
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cute.
all the Baby Yoda.
Wonder if they have plans for some kind of decal for the rear window of a car. Oh, that would be so cute. Oh, oh, I want Baby Yoda stuff. I want like a little mechanical Baby Yoda, like
Yeah,
like those little baby dolls that they make for kids, like that, talks and coos and all that. I want like a Baby
yeah.
Yoda doll that does that.
That's. I really hope that's what they were going to be making eventually. I mean, they have to at some point.
Yeah, and it's not hard. It just has to make little cooing sounds. Arms have to go up, and it has to be able to hold a bowl of soup. And that's all it needs to do.
I would say like in the episode we had just had when the lady the mechanic was like just petting Baby Yoda, like she's like doing some petting his ears. It was just so
Yeah.
like just like that's what people are gonna do. People are gonna do that with their dolls. They're just gonna pet it.
Yeah. It's gonna be like a little
So,
therapy doll. um, Dream X. I'm looking for a Baby Yoda stroller for my friend. Just had a kid. I'll have a picture of the T-shirt when I'm at Galaxy's Edge. Going to walk around asking cast members, "Have you seen this child?" They're gonna think you're nuts. um. All right. Anything else that we haven't covered?
in here. Is we still here?
You have a question for we?
I was like gonna say like I remember I didn't get to answer that the ranking of the movies.
Oh,
Yeah, because
we
he
are
asked
you
me that like
Daniel? We are you in the house? Because we were discussing rankings of favorite films. Actually, for those of you who are new to the chat, this is one of those things I feel like we not only do we discuss on every one of our live streams here for the Mandalorian, but we also discuss on my Twitch streams. Like, what is your ranking of
of the
favorite Star Wars
movies
movies? Oh,
or
Daniel's
just
here. Okay,
all right.
give us your
Okay,
ranking, Inspector.
so this is okay. The first one, and this is actually kind of a tie. My first two favorite Star Wars movies are Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi. They're kind of tied
Okay.
simply because they're both endings. They're really well done finales, and um, one's an epic tale of redemption, and one's an epic tale of tragedy. Just they're so well done at what they do.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Sluice
And,
Friggins. Thank you for joining us. We did discuss it already, actually. But you can rewind.
uh,
Which he was,
behind episode,
he was,
and I'm gonna. Oh, sorry.
no,
No.
he was just asking about the cliffhanger if we talked about it.
Um, I'm gonna say this is I don't want to say this is blasphemous,
hmm
but Empire Strikes Back is my least favorite of the originals.
Well, we're gonna have to end these live streams. We can't be friends anymore.
Like, okay, on a technical level, it is the best of all of the movies. On a
Okay.
technical level, it is the best written, best directed, best, the whatever, like all of the elements that make a movie great. Empire is the best. It's just personally one I have never grown an attachment to in terms of emotional. Apart from maybe like I think the only reason I don't like that movie is because I didn't watch it as much, and it left a lot of trauma on me because just seeing Luke get beaten up by Vader, I was like, nope, I don't want to watch this movie. I always like was episode 4, skip episode 6. It was always that.
But like we get to see Luke's training. I mean, it's
I was
brief.
a kid. I know it's good. It's a
Help
good
me.
movie. I love it now. I love it now. But it's just as as my as terms like you asked for my favorites. You guys asked for this.
Wait. Daniel agrees with you. Daniel, I thought we were friends. Okay, well, you want to know something funny? So, okay, you're saying, okay, I didn't watch that one as much when I was a kid because it
Yeah.
wasn't one of the ones we had on VHS initially. Um,
Mm.
and that might be one of the reasons why I like it a little bit more because I didn't get to see it as much. Um, so in a way, it was new for me for a long time. So maybe that's
Yeah.
why I feel that way.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just I think it was again. It was like one of those things where every time, like as a kid, it was like, okay, that movie, that was a scary one. We're gonna avoid that one. So we're just gonna watch the fun ones. We're gonna watch like A New Hope and Empire or not Empire, Jedi.
And I thought Return of the Jedi was, for me as a kid, it was scarier because
Like
of
what was scary? Was it
the
the
whole
Rancor?
Jabba scene. I didn't like in the beginning. That always bothered me.
Huh.
I don't know.
I just like I was always as a. It's funny because as a like it was different kind of like as a kid I always loved monster movies and big monsters and like King Kong and Jurassic Park like all of these like Ray Harryhausen movies and such, and I always enjoyed that. So it wasn't like it wasn't like scary monster imagery that got me. It was always like big psychological things that you know just I don't know. That's what got me as a kid a lot.
All right. I just have to. Um, what about the Han and Leia love story? What about the Luke and Leia love story? How about that? It's
Don't
the
talk
most
about
Luke
that.
Vader. It's a good movie, most overrated though. Frankie, can I be a mod on Discord? I need to ban we.
See, this is what happens, Daniel. You asked for this, and now we're gonna have a fight. We're gonna start.
It's
There's gonna
going
be a civil
down.
war.
Who needs to get banned? Who else doesn't like The Empire Strikes Back? You're out of here.
I didn't say I didn't like. Look. It's look. Empire is still above the like not like above episode 2 and episode 1. Okay, it's still above episode 7 and 8.
But you said it was your least favorite.
It's my least favorite originals of the originals.
All right, we can be friends now.
Okay, it's
Okay,
not
we're
that
good. We're
bad.
good. Sleuth Friggins, ESB, Best Original. Oh, Empire Strikes Back, Best Original Score in Cinematic History. I would agree. It was very good. The music in general from the
No,
movie.
no, no. Okay, look, EMXE. Last Jedi is my least favorite. I will say that right. If we're gonna, I was gonna build up to it, but no, I would say that right here. Last Jedi is my least
I would
favorite.
agree with that. Like, I didn't dislike it, but it's not my most favorite. It's,
Yeah.
at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
I like Empire Strikes Back. You go, Brando. That's right.
But yeah, behind Empire is Rogue One and Solo.
Okay.
Both are kind of tied again because I both enjoyed them as their stories and their side stories. One's like a simple kind of heist movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's like a freaking war movie. with one of my favorite final battles
Mm-hmm.
of all of Star Wars so far.
Uh-huh.
We'll see how Rise of Skywalker does, but we'll see. But yeah.
Okay.
Then episode 1, then episode 2 is my least favorite of the prequels. I still like it, and then it's like 7 and 8. I
Mm-hmm.
liked 7 um, early on, but over time it's just like, I was just comparing it to the other story.
Yeah.
It did again. Like, the problem I feel with a 7 with episode with Force Awakens is it feels too much like A New Hope, and
Yeah.
we already have A New Hope, so it's like I can't put like if I was to compare, like if I was just left with A New Hope and episode from Force Awakens, which one do I feel does the better story?
Mm-hmm. Hmm. MXC, a lot of ties here. Must be nice to pretend to be a balanced parent. Parents lie. They really love one child more than another. You're afraid to own which ones you love more. No, but I get that. I think some are probably tied for me.
Yeah, like I can't like it's not. It's kind of like which like if you were asking me what are my favorite movies that aren't Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot,
Yeah.
but I like them all for different reasons
Reasons.
of
Yeah.
why. Because I'm not one formula or one trick or just
Yeah.
like the Marvel movies or Godzilla movies or other movies. It's like they all have their that make them good movies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what mood I'm in. Sort of.
It varies from day to day. P. Becca's, hey, how are you? Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah.
All
Um,
right. Wait, was that wasn't the whole list? The prequels?
those are the only last pieces and I'm gonna throw another tie at you. See, Force Unleashed and Fallen Order are tied.
For
I
video
can't
games.
quite
Okay.
just and they're also kind of in with Rogue One and Solo in that category area, in between Empire and Phantom Menace.
Okay. All right. I'll have to come up with my list. Episode 7 and episode 4, there are glaring similarities. But it's a I can't even say it, cinematographic choice to have in the new trilogy, the references that people liked in the first trilogy. Yeah, I felt like the reason why they did that in episode 7 was to make it a little nostalgic for people. But that it worked for some, it didn't work for everyone. I liked that aspect of it. MXC, I love all my nephews and nieces, but only one can say he built a gingerbread fort with his uncle. That's love. It's voluntary, but we brought a new universe. Stop pretending there are ties. Daniel Walton, you'll have to type all this out. Yes, put it on Discord, Inspector. Oh, here's Dream. Yeah, post it on Discord so he can judge you on there too. MXC. Okay, this is Dream X's rankings. Episode 4, 5, and 6. 3, 2, 1, 7, 8. 9 yet to be ranked. Solo and Rogue One. I think he threw that in there. Solo and Rogue One. You said that.
I did, but I think he's asking
Dream X. Okay. Just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all tied. Oh my god. Episode 7 is the first of Disney. They played the security. Yes, they played it safe. In contrast, episode 8 gives him a new foundation. I would agree with that. Okay, here's Daniel's rankings. Rogue One is your most favorite.
Oh, wow.
Episode 3, episode 1, episode 2, 6, 4, 5, Solo 7,
Wow.
and 8. Okay, and here's Sluice's rankings. 4, 5, 6. Rogue One. Episode 3, Episode 1, Episode 7, Episode 2, Solo, and 8. I see a lot of people put 8 for their last one. Rogue One, yes. Rogue One was excellent. I mean, it's not one of the ones I rewatched because it's sad to me. I like to watch happy things. So, not one of the ones I rewatched, but it was excellent. I thought it was very well done. 8 at home
Yeah,
school.
okay, listen, that's probably a very opposite of me. It's like I that's another reason I like watching reaction
Mm-hmm.
is I like seeing people have like the experience of like uh I don't want to say like terrifying experiences or something, but so when they see something bad happen in a show or an episode or something, it's like I want to see how people react to that. I'm always
Yeah.
like excited for that.
Yeah. Um, Pete Becca said, I like everything Star Wars except The Last Jedi. So this friggin' love Rogue One.
All right, fine. Want no ties?
No ties.
Return of
Um,
the Jedi over Revenge of the Sith. Rogue One over Solo. And oh, now the Force Unleashed and Fallen Order was really tough. I'll have to put Force Unleashed over Fallen Order for now.
Here is Elsa's rankings: 4, 3, 5, Rogue One, Episode 2, 6, 1, 8, 7, and Solo. Interesting. I have to add in Rogue One and Solo now. Fine. I know. You know what? That's one of those things I have mixed feelings about. Like, okay, so I don't think I've done my rankings. I may have done it like on the spur of the moment, but I haven't actually sat down and planned it out. I have mixed feelings about putting Rogue One and Solo in there because they're not part of the Skywalker saga. You know what I mean? They're like standalone films.
Yeah,
So like, I don't
that's
know, I guess, but I guess if you're ranking Star Wars films, you would have to include it.
yeah, that's why I think it's more of like what I was ranking favorite stories, like how I consider the stories.
Um, P. Becca, Star Wars Christmas special over The Last Jedi. Yikes.
Mm,
MXC,
I can't.
love Fallen Order for defeating Frankie. Prove me wrong, Frankie. Prove me wrong.
I will. I won't. I will not. I won't disagree with the Christmas special. Even though when I watched the Christmas special for the first time, my brain broke.
Yeah,
I literally just could.
I was like, this is cool, but this is really bad.
This is like literally. When computers completely the internet shuts down or whatever, like that was my brain for like a good 3 hours
Yeah.
after that function. I was just like, what did my brain just watch? And what is this? And what happened? What happened? What was this? I
Yeah.
now know why this is a big regret by some people.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to really describe the Christmas special. All right, let me go back and scroll here. All right, we have Brando's rankings. I don't remember if I said this already. Brando says episode 3, Rogue One, Solo. Oh, Solo's on the top of your list. 4, 5, 2, 6, 1, 7, 8. Again, 8 at the bottom. Christmas special. You can add it in Battlefront 2 if you want. Add what?
Battlefront 2.
Oh, add it to your
Okay,
list.
you mean the new Battlefront 2, or do you mean the old clone
I
Battlefront
think
2?
I'm gonna guess he means the new one. Can you imagine
Because if we're
waiting till
going
they do a new Christmas special? It would break the internet.
if we're going with old Battlefront 2, that's definitely higher than new Battlefront 2. The campaign wise, not the game in a strange way, because I will say this. Again, another blasphemous thing. I don't think the original Battlefront 2 game is as good as everybody thinks it is.
Yeah, I never played. I got
I
it.
mean, it's a
Yeah,
good old game, but I don't think it's as good as everybody thinks it used to be.
yeah. I never like really played it. I got it from my dad, and so it kind of like I saw a little bit of it, and like it looks like the places you get to go. Like I know there's some stuff on like Naboo, which I thought was kind of cool, but other than that, like I guess I don't really know it well enough to judge. DreamX says I watched the holiday special, but I woke up 2 weeks later with no memory of who I was or where I was. Um, oh, Mr. Steal Your Pizza. Hey, here is his rankings. 3, 5, 4, 6. Clone Wars, 2007 movie. Ooh, forgot about that. 1, 2, Rogue One, 7, Solo, and 8. Everyone's got 8 at the bottom of the list. Here is MXC's. Rogue One, episode 4, 5, 6, 3, 2, Solo, 7, 1, and 8. Phantom Menace
I
is at the bottom of the list?
Yeah, I was gonna say that like Famous isn't that bad. Like
MXC, you're going to be unmodded.
I can understand it being the only thing I can say is maybe being boring, but bad, not really.
I didn't think it was boring. Oh my gosh, I mean, I could have been, all right. So I was obsessed with it when it came out. I could have been obsessed with it because it was like a new movie, a new Star Wars movie.
Turner's not that bad. He
Jar
just has
Jar was
bad jokes.
awesome. I really like
He's,
movies.
he, he's like okay, too many bad jokes. It's like, um, yeah. Oh man, I had this conversation with my friend like a couple weeks ago. We got onto the topic of Star Wars. Like we got into the ranking and the characters and it's like all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like I never I mean I can understand the hate, but I can't hate him.
Yeah, I like. So I always liked Jar Jar. I thought it was funny. Um, so like I never hated on him. What made me appreciate him even more was when I watched the behind the scenes stuff and I watched My Best and like what he put into the character, and like what it meant to him and what it meant to George Lucas. Like it was like a big freaking deal.
Yeah, and I
MXC is quitting
I'm
Discord.
not look Daniel or us. We started a civil war. We're starting a war here. The chat's on fire.
MXC is quitting Discord. Why don't you block me on all social media too? um, Brando, yeah, the Phantom Menace isn't that bad. Yeah, I liked it. I had the whole movie memorized. Any plan that starts with Jar Jar is a bad plan. Even so, I still like him.
Okay, I will admit like
You go, Daniel.
somebody like I did watch somebody did like their kind of rewrite sort of episode 1, and what they did was they made Jar Jar a little bit more a banished, well he was banished, but I mean like a someone who's trying to regain his honor back or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, maybe make Jar Jar a little bit of a badass.
Mm-hmm.
Cool to me. Which I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so there I don't know if this is canon. I think this is oh gosh. Again, it's like, is this canon or is this Legends? But have you seen the like there was a video about a Jar Jar comic where he used a lightsaber to rescue Rex from some droids? Like and it
Wait, what?
like yeah, Jar Jar used a light like there was a Jedi that died and Jar Jar took the lightsaber to keep it safe. But when Rex got ambushed by droids, Jar Jar used the lightsaber to kill the droids.
Wait.
And for a second he looks really awesome, and then he goes back to his fumbling self. But it's one of those like this is fueling the Sith Jar Jar theory.
But wait, where was this from? Was this a comic or was this in an episode that I?
It was a comic. It was a comic. It wasn't the. I think yeah, one of the people did. But yeah, it was just one of those like little things. Where it's, man, I almost do wish they had continued. Like George had continued his idea with Jar Jar.
I would have yeah. So I never heard that theory until like just a few years ago. But when I heard it, I was like, oh my god, that would have been awesome. Like I would have loved to see that played out. And who knows? Maybe there's a way that they can, at some point in the future, reference that and make it like kind of change it.
Star Wars story.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, it's definitely not movie worthy. Like I don't think anybody would watch. Well, some of us would watch it, but not enough people. There's a way that they could reference it, like because we don't know what happens to Jar Jar after the prequels, so we might find out at some point, that he killed a bunch of Jedi or something. Who knows?
I mean, I don't know about the Sith theory, but I just wish we'd gotten more something with this character to be much more. Because it feels like he was supposed to be like maybe like the C-3PO of the characters. Like, he was supposed to be the kind of bumbling, but like a sense of not humor but certainty or something. Like he was the one who was always like, "Do you realize how bad of a situation we were in?"
Yeah.
The voice of reason. That's what it is. C-3PO is like the voice of reason.
Oh, Sluice Friggins, Jar Jar appears end of Mando chapter 5. Yes, that was totally him.
That's the secret plot twist character who shows up.
Actually, Sluice, that's an interesting question. Ranking the Mandalorian chapters. I feel like I'd have to think about that.
You'd have to. I'd have to agree. I think you'd have to give time. You have to give me after the season's over. Honestly, I need to. I
All
need to
right.
feel see the whole thing.
So,
Right.
Sluice, that's a really good question. So, tune in to our finale. And we should all prepare our answers for that. We should all like rank our favorite chapters, and we'll share that on the finale night. Finale night, which we're trying to plan something. It's a work in progress. We'll figure it out. New theory: Jar Jar is Rey's mother.
It's. uh,
People are ranking their Mandalorian episodes already. They're ahead of us. I really need to take time to think about that.
you guys have spoken.
Yeah, they've spoken. They're already on it. They like been plotting this. I don't know. Because now I have to think about what happened. Because some of the episodes kind of run together for me, so I have to.
Yeah.
Like, I think I have episodes 2 and 3 confused. I don't remember which happened in what.
One was meeting everything. Two was getting Baby Yoda back to the ship in the
Back,
jungle
right.
attack.
Okay.
And 3 was rescuing Baby Yoda from the Imperials. And 4 was the village. And 5 was this.
3, 4, 5, 1, 2. There's my order. 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. No. 3, 4, 5, 2, 1. 3, 4, 5, 2, 1. That's my order. So very similar to yours, Elser. All right. I like went into deep. It was deep in thought. Yeah, I think that's my order for now. No pressure. You can think about it. We'll get back to you next week.
I mean, like,
or for now.
this will work me out.
This will be another hour. All right. So, all right, we're getting on to almost 2 hours here. I feel like we discussed everything. Was there anything else you want to throw in? I feel like we covered all our bases.
The only other thing I was gonna say about is like the only other thing I kind of wrote down was how do you feel about the prequel era, like that whole era of Star Wars in general, like in terms of what it happened in it and what was going on with it,
I mean,
versus like the other eras. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I love the prequels in general. I never ever had a problem with it, but I think I'm pretty easy to please when it comes to Star Wars. But it shows the contrast, pre-Empire, like times of Republic, and then what happens once the Empire took over. Like you can kind of see how things were so different, how the galaxy was run and whatnot. But I liked it. Each trilogy kind of stands on its own, like tells its own story. Even though it's all part of the Skywalker saga, it kind of like stands alone.
Yeah, the sequel trilogy is kind of lacking right now, so I can't quite judge it. But I will say, like we have the original trilogy era, which is a whole Empire, Rebellion, just full on war. We have the prequel trilogy era, which is kind of half peace, half war. It's more political war / actual battle war.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I guess it's because I feel like right now prequels have much more build up right now, like much more stuff thanks to Clone Wars and comics and books and other sort of thing. It really feels like the era of that era is much more interesting to me, especially now that I got older and understand the political situations that they're in. It's like, okay, I kind of get why things are like this now.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of my favorite era, and plus all the Jedi were alive during that time. There was like just
I like that element of it too, to see all the Jedi together and what it was really like when they were kind of at the top of their game. Um, I will say too, I kind of felt like the Clone Wars animated series that helped me understand the prequel era a lot better because we do see more
yeah,
battles and we do see a lot more of the political side of things and why things were the way they were. Um, so I felt like I really wish that more people would watch the Clone Wars because I feel like they would
yeah,
those people would the people who don't like the prequels and haven't seen the Clone Wars. I feel like if they saw the Clone Wars, it would help them to appreciate
yeah.
the prequels much better.
Also, it's like another thing is kind of what's really kind of interesting about the prequels is in most like trilogies or movies you see how we see how how the story escalates to victory,
Hmm.
whereas the prequels is the story escalating to how the bad guys win.
Yeah,
It shows that Palpatine
yeah,
wins basically, which is really it's really kind of it's kind of tragic, but at the same time it's kind of really interesting to see the bad guy like he planned all everything just come together so
yeah.
just one final swoop just wins.
Hmm. Yeah, it's not your typical if you look at it from that perspective, that's not your typical way a story is told, the bad
Yeah,
guys winning. Um,
yeah,
but yet it's necessary to set up where we start in the
yeah,
original trilogy. So that is, that is kind of cool how that's we know all along that that's what it's building up to.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, no, I like the I like the prequels.
Mhm. Yeah. And then I guess next week we can talk about. Oh my god, let's see. Next week is the four,
15th.
15th, 14th. Yeah,
15th.
15th,
Well, it comes out on the
and then
13th. Our discussion would be
yeah,
on the 15th.
okay, and then we will be 5 days away from the movie.
Oh my god, I can't even believe it.
We are like a week and a half away from that movie.
I'm like not to be melodramatic, but it's like emotional. Like I feel like like my childhood is ending. I mean, I realize I'm an adult, but like this is the end. Like I wish people were more sentimental about it because a lot of people are just kind of hating on it. Like whether or not it's your Star Wars, this is the end of the Skywalker saga. Whether you like it or not, this is it. This is the end of it. This is the end of the story. It's canon. It is what it is. So for me, like that's emotional. Like the end of the story that I grew up with. Um, that's a pretty big deal. So I'm uh,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
anticipating it
just
for a lot of reasons.
I'm just I'm just hoping I'm excited to see something really awesome is all. It's like I'm excited to see something epic. Like
Yeah,
see
an
what
epic
they do
battle.
for this finale.
Hmm.
Like
And
how are they going to do
do
it?
it.
Like how are they
Yeah,
going to pull it off if they can? Like just I'm excited to see it.
yeah. And I hope for the sake of the people who like despise the new trilogy, I hope that they can like they connect all the
They can
dots to put the other movies in
find
perspective.
some that's the word solace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they have a lot of things to fix, whether or not they want to admit it. Like they're not going to obviously word it like that, but they have a lot of things to fix, and I hope they do right by everyone and fix it so that other people can kind of have a new appreciation for episode 7 and 8. It's my hope, especially episode 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody kind of has mixed feelings about it. Got their tickets already. It's not the end. It depends on who buys the Star Wars movies rights next. um, they killed Luke already, and Carrie has unfortunately passed in real life. Harrison wants no more. Lucas isn't involved. I'm excited but not emotional because it's the husk of the original story. Hayden and Anakin would go a long way. I'm really hoping that they bring Hayden
Yeah,
Christensen back.
okay, like those are the things like
I
an
think.
epic space battle, epic lightsaber fights,
Mhm.
and Force Ghost showing up for one final, all that. So
We should.
those are my top
Yeah.
hope.
I was gonna say for our next live stream, we should like have like we should like make our lists of like like requirements for the next movie, like things we want to
Yeah.
see. To like,
Things that would make us happy
yeah,
at the very least.
yeah, and then we can compare to when like that movie actually comes out, um, the following week. So, um, if they toss Palpatine to the side like they did the other, some people hope Hayden's come
Oh
back.
yeah, I will say that's another thing. I'm excited. Like if at the very least, I hope we can get some more good Emperor memes. Our meme Palpatine Lord.
That would be pretty cool.
Some more Senate, some more do it.
And the
just,
Senate. I'm sure there's gonna be some great one-liners in there.
just something a new Emperor meme. We've not had a Palpatine meme. Probably like if you consider like by movie standards, we've not had a Palpatine meme in 15 years.
Yeah, it's a long time. So, all right. Yeah, so we have lots to look forward to, lots to talk about next week for sure. Um, but
Is I'm gonna say is next week's episode is that on a Wednesday, or is that
you mean
or is that the
this upcoming week will be on the Friday. The
Friday?
following week, I think, is the Wednesday.
The Wednesday. Okay. Okay, so we can talk about that.
We can
Discuss.
we, I mean, I guess we could talk about it off stream, but we can if you want to do it on a different night that week, we can. But
We'll see.
we can discuss that later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapter 7 of Mando drops the day before our premiere of the Rise of Skywalker. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right, guys. Well, we've come to the end. Thank you so much, all of you, for hanging out.
This was
Um,
a very fun discussion.
yeah, this was a lot of fun, and again, you know these discussions wouldn't be what it is without you guys. So thank you so much for always like chiming in and asking questions and talking about your theories and whatnot. And Inspector, it's always fun talking about the Mandalorian with you and hearing your thoughts about other things in the Star Wars universe. So
Yeah.
we will be back next Sunday. Um,
Yep.
next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Talking about Chapter 6. We're coming close to the end. 3 more chapters left. So I hope everybody has a great week. Thank you again for hanging out. Make sure you guys sub the Inspector Who Reacts. I have a link below to his channel. Please subscribe to him over there. He does a lot of great reactions, a lot of great discussions over there too. All kinds of stuff. So this is the way. This is the way. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. This is Nothing Nerdy and the Inspector Who Reacts signing off.
Have a good one. Take
Have a
care.
good week, everyone.